Y'all already know what it is. And in case you didn't know, now you do.
You
And I
just
got.
starting out choosing violence.
You say what?
You starting out choosing violence.
Oh, see, I know you didn't know this about me, but I'm gonna let you know. My name is Big Smash. I woke up and chose violence this morning and every morning because it's what gets me through my day. Okay.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
Now, I gotta be honest, you know, the little bit I did hear from your show, you out of pocket. That's all I want to say.
Me? Why? Why is that? What did I
Yeah,
do?
cause we don't listen. And I know because if I ever leave this earth, I would definitely want to go out the way Kevin Samuels went out. Okay.
And
I'm
how was that? Being a hypocrite?
no. Kevin Samuels died a pretty good death from what I've read. You know, he died a pretty good death. He died in some vagina. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I think honestly, if I'm gonna go out,
This is crooked.
that's the way I would
Uh-huh.
want to go out. Honestly,
Uh, okay.
yeah, I think that's the greatest thing in the world to go out that way. Now, so you got an episode called Kevin Samuels is the real Godfather. Now, if I had never listened to your show before, we're gonna act like I never listened to your show before. What exactly did you feel like you had to come up with that title? What's to you?
So like I said to you, if you didn't watch the episode, then you would assume that that was the title because that was what I felt or that's how I feel. Okay.
Mhm.
So let me first start off by saying, because you just jumped on choosing violence, and I'm, you know what I always say, you didn't take a nap. Um, I am not a Kevin Samuels fan. Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You listen. You
I
are.
am not a
All of
Kevin
you women.
Samuels
All of
fan.
you women ate this dude up.
No, no,
Everything he said,
no,
y'all ate it up. Y'all
no,
called in on his
no,
show. Y'all took
no.
horrible advice from a horrible ass dude.
Listen, it was controversy, but it was clear. It was clear on my
Uh,
show that I'm not his fan. I'm not an advocate of him. I've never been an advocate of him. I've never been a fan of him.
so you
And
was a
you know,
closet Kevin
so
Samuels fan.
what? I'm not doing this with you
Like
today.
in public you don't like him, but in private you just adore everything he said. Because I'm gonna tell you right
Absolutely
now,
not. Absolutely not.
you remind me of a female Kevin Samuels. Okay,
Wait,
the
wait. Where's Dre at? Where's Dre at tonight? Where's Dre at
the
tonight?
the advice
Where,
that you be giving out and you be telling these women, and you got people out here thinking you a player, you a pimp at, like you are the
no,
female
you
Kevin
have you
Samuels.
you have people thinking that. I never said that. I never said that. That's not
Okay,
what I proclaimed, and that's not what I said. And I don't give Kevin Samuels advice. What I say is the advice that I give is that women need to you need to think more highly of yourself. You need to stop just giving your bodies away to any old man.
you sounded
You
like
need to
Kevin
stop. You
Samuels.
need you
See
need to stop
that right
having.
there?
You need to stop having 10 different baby daddies and think that that is
How
okay.
you gonna tell these
Like,
people how to live their life?
listen, to each their own.
How you gonna
I'm
tell
just,
these people?
and it's just my opinion. And
Uh
opinions are
huh.
like assholes. We all have one.
Uh huh.
Okay. So that's, again, that's just my opinion. I don't, again, I'm not a Kevin Samuels fan, and I am far from Kevin Samuels sounding. I didn't agree with a lot of the things that he said.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
I didn't agree with most of what he said.
I thought
However,
Kevin Sam.
my
Listen,
guests did have some excellent. They did bring up some good viewpoints. One of the points that they brought up, which is a promo that's up on my page, the Bougie Babe Podcast on Instagram, was that women will get mad at what he said. However, they called into his show. So why call into the show asking him to rate you, and then when you don't get the rating that you expected or that you feel like you should have, now you want to be mad?
okay, so for the longest time, I thought Kevin Samuels was gay. I'm gonna just put that out there. For the longest time, I thought he was gay. Second off, who died and made him the be all know all of giving women advice? Now he still ain't shit, but I do want to say R.I.P. to the man though, because he still was an ain't shit ass nigga, and I said that even when he was alive, he ain't shit.
Okay, what made him ain't shit?
What do you mean? What made him ain't shit? Did
Yeah,
you hear?
what's your opinion
Listen,
on why he wasn't
Kevin
shit?
Samuels was a horrible. He was a horrible motivational speaker. Okay, he was
Why? Because
terrible.
he didn't give the advice that you would give.
I'm not gonna let. I listen. He was terrible. He was terrible. So for those of you that are popping in, uh,
You can't
Jay,
even
what
get
up?
it out.
Jay, what up? Germ, what
Hi,
up?
hi. C
So
says she loves Kevin Samuels.
okay, so Bougie Babe has an episode she just released called Kevin Samuels Was the Godfather. This was the real Godfather. So this is why we're talking about Kevin Samuels. So don't think I just woke up out the goddamn bed and just said, you know what?
You did.
I'ma fuck with Kevin Samuels because this is what I want to do today. No, that's not how this occurred. So I just want to say that yes, I listened to your episode. I thought the brothers you had on there was they had some good points.
They did
Okay.
have some good points.
They had some good points. But then you,
oh, here we go.
I don't know. It's like, listen, the Kevin Samuels, the Derek Jacksons, the what's the girl that's taking TikTok by storm with all her bogus ass trapped in the closets that we gonna soon find out that none of that shit is real and she just wanted a payday? That's coming.
Okay, but you haven't said not one thing yet.
He was a terrible motivational speaker. That's number one.
Okay, but what did I say in favor of Kevin Samuels?
You named that shit. You named it that shit. That was mistake number one.
If you watch the episode, you would know why I named it that.
Why you did it.
I explained it.
But again,
I said
check it out, though.
And the title, and correction, the title is The Real Godfather, Kevin Samuels.
Check it out, though, right? If I had never heard the Bougie Babe podcast before, that's probably where I would have been thinking, like, oh, she really with that shit. So if I was a Kevin Samuels hater, I would have scrolled on past that bullshit. But for the ones that I hear, I definitely tell y'all to go check out Bougie Babe's latest episode. I just wanted to get on violence because you said Kevin Samuels, and it's a trigger for me. It's a trigger.
Listen, it's more quote unquote Kevin Samuel haters that tune in than the ones that actually liked him and followed him because they agreed with what he said.
What did he say? What was something positive that Kevin Samuel said? Because I can't remember anything positive. Like
he did say some positive things. He did.
I thought Kevin Samuels was the one that always got rejected by every girl that he approached.
So you think that's why he had the belief?
I think his mama didn't love him too much. He didn't get enough hugs growing up. His dad went to the milk store to go get some milk and never came back. Like it was a bunch of things that it was a bunch of things that ran through my head. Um, it was just a bunch of things that ran through my head. Now again, hey, you got to get your money, but I just find how all these entertainers out here right now are feeling like the only way for them to come up is when they bash men or they bash women or they bash both. Like you don't have no type of other structure or other you don't have another end game. The only way that you make it, and if Cat Williams didn't teach people anything, the only way that you can really make it is by bashing your fellow brothers and your fellow sisters. And Kevin Samuels, the reason why I was so hard on him, because you had these women coming on your show asking you for help. And you're tearing them down. I get it. If they're not your cup of tea, I get it. I get they might not have been his cup of tea, but there's nicer ways to say the things that this man was saying respectfully.
So you don't like him because you feel like he didn't say what he had to say nicely?
I felt like them women called in for him for help, and they probably had even more lower self-esteem after they left his show because
okay, go ahead.
Because I feel like he didn't really do anything to help them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go back and you look at some of his stuff, and I'm just like, yo, who died and made this dude the end all be all to tell women who they are? Like it was just a bunch of shit that just, and I'm just like, yo, he really doing this for a check. He
But
really.
but how was
Go
he
ahead.
able to do that? How was he able to do that? He was able to do that because they gave him that power. The women gave him that power. He couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. My man Jay said he was definitely harsh. But my thing was, again, man, like again, people come to you for help. Now you could tell them, hey, you're not a high value woman. You got 5 kids, blah, 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 things like that. You could say that. But you could also give them advice on how to, okay, make that work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna just say like, okay, yeah, you got 5 kids. I remember one lady got on there and she said she had 3 kids, and she said the next person that she got with, she was gonna, whoever she got with until she got married, she was gonna make them wait. And his response was, you already, bust this thing open already 3 times. Like, who are you to? And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, he was basically putting her down for saying, like, I want to wait. The next person I give myself to is going to be for me. Like, it's
she
just a
should have
bunch.
did that 2 kids ago.
Yeah, possibly. But he never did it to the fellas, though.
Because
like,
he didn't have a lot of men that called in either.
But when Nikki came there, he was humble, he was respectful, and he was just downright polite. And I'm just like, yo, why you ain't like this with everybody else that come on your show? He was, I don't know if you've seen the one he did with Nicki Minaj. Oh, he was real respectful. He was real humble. He wasn't, pulling the bullshit that he did. Now, I'm not, listen, I feel like you could say what you want. You can give all advice, and the women, if they come on this show, they pretty much setting themselves up for whatever he come with. Cool, true enough. But if I'm one of these women's son, oh, we gonna have to come see you, Kevin, because ain't no way you finna be out here talking to my mama like this, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But again, if I ever decided to go out, if I ever leave this earth, and I know I will, I want to go out the way he went out. I want to go out in some pussy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean, who wouldn't?
That's the best way to go out. Now,
who wouldn't?
What is some of your highlights from your show? Let's talk about that.
Well, so one of the things that we talked about was how men, he said men pick women based upon looks,
Mm,
and that women think men pick women based upon status.
mm,
And then he said, so if that's the case, why are so many successful women single? So, we talked about that because essentially it's the truth, right?
mm.
And here we have a man that is kind of telling us what it is, and the women refuse to believe that or listen to it. But it's like he's not far from the truth on that, because we might pick a man based upon status, but that's not how men choose their women. And
I
that was
mean,
one of the
how will
things
we
that he
really know
said.
what their status is unless we sat down and conversed with them? Like your status, listen, a lot of times dudes don't be going after. If I'm a man with status, of course I want a woman with status. And if
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man with no status, of course I would want a woman with status. But status doesn't get you where you really trying to go on either side. Like status can't pay my bills. Status can't feed my kids. It can't pay the mortgage. It can't get me to and from work. Status does absolutely nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really looking at you for your looks, but I think it's a combination of it all. Status, success, looks, body shape, things like that. Like all these things come into play because in our mind we have a vision, men and women. We have a vision of what we want our perfect mate to look like. They're not going to be
Mm-hmm.
perfect by a long shot, but we have a vision of how damn near perfect we would want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like I don't. The first thing you notice when a guy approaches you, what's the first thing you notice?
What do you mean, as far as their looks is concerned,
Is
or?
is is looks? It could be looks. It could be their approach. It could be their shoes. It could
Well, I
be.
mean, for me,
It's a bunch of things.
the first thing I'm looking at is your teeth and your shoes. What you have on your feet tells me pretty much everything I need to know about you,
How so?
and what your teeth look like.
How so? How can you say what a guy's shoes on can tell you everything about
Yeah,
him?
yeah,
How
yeah.
so?
It does, because I'm looking at your feet to see what you have on your feet. And if you got some busted ass raggedy shit on all the time, every single time, then you're definitely not gonna be the person for me.
So he could have.
And if you're missing some teeth in your head, or
Mm,
that one tooth that's missing on the side, you know.
so so he could be wearing, say, some sketches, and as long as they not busted up, he pass.
Well, I'm not. I would like it if he didn't have on Skechers, but I would like if he did not have on Skechers, but should he have on
He
Skechers
got all his teeth and he got some
and he
clean
got all
sketches
on,
on. Like,
yeah, we might could conversate a little bit, and in that conversation, I'm going to be apt to try to find out why he has on Skechers, because what's the reason for that?
sketches are actually quite comfortable. I used to work in sketches. Okay.
I don't know.
I used to work in sketches long time
Okay,
ago.
so right, so had I bumped into you
Mm.
and you were just coming from work, and I looked down and you had, and I'm like, oh, okay, he
Because they
has
make
on
us wear
Skechers.
Skechers shoes while we at work.
Okay, so in my
Okay.
conversation, I would want to find out why you had on Skechers. And if you told me that, it's because of your job, then you get a pass on that.
Cool Out Corner said ain't nothing wrong with sketches. Hey yo, I got a question though, right? Back in the day, they had the pump up shoes. Remember
Pump up shoes.
the little at the tongue of the shoes had the little pump up button, and like I always
Oh.
wondered what the fuck did that do to the shoe though.
But what was it pumping up? Wasn't it something in the sole? Was it something
I
in the
don't know.
tongue that it pumped up, or something in the sole?
I always thought it was weird. But okay, so a guy he can't approach you in Skechers, or he could, but you just want to know the story behind it.
Right.
Raw Sex, what up? Cool Out Corner said, as long as they taking care of business, that's all that matter. Half of these women get their shoes from Walmart and we don't care. He is not lying. Okay.
But I
I've
mean,
never
that's the difference between men and women.
I've never looked at a woman who had on uh not Skechers. Give me another low value shoe. Like Shaq's. I've never seen a woman with Shaq branded shoes and been like, you know what? I'm
Is
not
that
going.
Dre?
Yeah, Dre is in the building. I'm not gonna bend her over because she got on Shaq shoes. I've never said that. I've never said that. Now, what I have said is we ain't gonna hang out in public and you wearing these Shaq shoes. I'm gonna tell you that
Why
right now.
not?
We ain't
Why
doing
not?
that. What the fuck you mean? Why not?
Why not?
You said earlier about status. So a man that's out here driving nice, got a nice crib, he dressing nice, he doing all his things. There's no way he's gonna want to hang with a woman who's not there. Like, you know, I just don't see it. Like, we can hang out, don't get it twisted, but we hanging out in the house. And if I like you
because of the
well enough,
Shaq.
I will take you and get you a pair of shoes. Don't trip. You gonna earn them shoes, but I like you though. There's the balance.
So you don't believe that you shouldn't buy your partner shoes,
She ain't my partner yet.
friend or whatever, potential,
But
whatever it is.
but absolutely. I believe that if I'm dealing with you, I'm going to match, you're gonna match me. I'm not gonna have, and my kids are gonna match. I'm not gonna have, see, I be seeing a lot of dudes that be out here be fly as hell, and they woman be busted, and they kids be busted. And I just be like, yo, how? Why? Why is this? Why you the flyest nigga on the block, but your kids, you standing in line for all the Jordans, and you got your kids wearing Kidgets.
Wearing what?
Kidgets.
What is that?
Family Dollar shoes. Like, so you gotta match, y'all. We gotta match. I'm not, because now status and reputation comes in the way. And it's as listen, Kevin Samuels was a shitty ass person, but he was fly. I can't even front and say the man knew how to dress. All right. But that's where the compliments end for me. Like,
and that's how I know if I looked at his feet,
mm-hmm.
he would have on some, decent footwear.
So decent footwear matters.
Yeah, because I told you.
My kid mess up clothes and shoes. Yeah, they're gonna be different from mine. Okay. Now, jumping on to that, you're supposed to teach your kids though. And I get it, because I'm the same fucking way. I will not buy my kids no white shoes at all. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. And listen, because I let my kids pick their own style of shoes, right? And they just be picking the ugliest looking shoes they could find. And I be like, yo, are you sure? Are you sure? Now, sometimes I gotta step in and be like, oh, hell no, you're not getting those. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they are Nikes, them some ugly ass Nikes. We ain't doing that. So sometimes kids do fuck shit up. I can't even lie. Women fuck shit up. That's why I don't buy white shoes at all for nobody. I don't give a fuck who it is. So okay, you said shoes and feet. See, guys, I'm gonna tell you, we different when we approach women. We ain't looking at her shoes. We could care less because, like I said, if we doing something with them, it's in. Of course, we want y'all to have on nice shoes. Don't get it twisted. Your shoes can't be tonking in the front or on the back. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you got to be at least presentable. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But we're not looking. We don't care about. Okay, I'm lying. I take that back. We definitely care about what you have on, but I think it's a limit to how far we'll go with you because in our mind frame, we only want to smash anyway. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. But I just
And,
think like I
and
just
that
think
and that's
go
where
ahead.
that's where with Kevin Samuels saying that you men choose women based upon looks or whatever, you're looking at that female and in your mind is I want to fuck.
I
Well, she
mean,
cute.
I mean,
I want to
I
fuck. She
mean,
pretty as
no,
hell. I want to fuck.
hold on, because it can't just be looks. Because I have definitely, bagged some somewhat unattractive ass women. So don't it ain't looks that we sitting here focused on. We're not we're not looking for looks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not again, but it's levels with that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're unattractive, you're good enough for me to smash, but you're not good enough for me to say, you know what, that's wifey right there. I want to marry her. I want to see forever with her. You know what I'm saying? We certain
Mm-hmm.
dudes are not looking at you like that. Like we're not looking at you based on, oh man, that's good. That's gonna be the future right there. That's the new missus. Nah, if you unattractive to us, we're looking at it like, okay, she is unattractive, she is ugly, but that ass is fat. We start looking at things that make you attractive in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
We start looking at those things like, damn, she do got a car, she do got some money, she do smell good. Like we're thinking of different things that can make you attractive, at least for the moment. Because post nut clarity is a motherfucker. All right, after we
I like
bust this
that.
nut,
I like
when we
that.
come back to our senses, like, yeah, I don't know why I came here, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on and I call you. No, I'm not. I'm lying. I ain't gonna call you. But it's a nice thought. That's how you end them type of moments with I'm gonna call you and never call again. Mama life, what up? So I just think like at that point in my life, we all gotta start stepping our standards up. We all gotta have different standards. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at Kevin Samuels as the spokesperson for men. I didn't look at him as that.
Mm-hmm.
What I looked at him as, man, listen, if I had my own show and I had all the followers and the views and people calling in for me like he did, I would give my criticism, but I would also be trying to help the world. We don't know how many women have possibly tried to off themselves off the embarrassment that this motherfucker just displayed on us about us. Now, granted, we took that chance knowing who he is to come on his platform, but we still feel like I'm a woman. Have a little bit of respect. Have somewhat respect. To me, I didn't get that vibe that he respected anybody. And you know what I'm saying? And that's the vibe that I got from it.
So
Yeah.
I think that for him, I think what happened was that
Mm.
he didn't start out being controversial the way he ultimately ended up being in the Kevin Samuels that everyone came to know. I think that somewhere in that, when he found that controversy is what got him the attention, the following, and the
Mm.
money, that's what he ran with. Because clearly he could not have believed everything that he said because he didn't follow what he said at all. I mean, case in point, which was another talking point on my podcast, I said, how, what is y'all take on him giving advice on relationships and marriage
Mm.
after him having been divorced twice? He he he
Facts.
he didn't he didn't adhere to anything that he pretty much said. He spoke about if you were 35 that you were washed up, and that was it. Basically, his viewpoint was if you're single and you're 35, it's over for you. If
Mm.
you're a overweight woman, it's over for you. Well, the female that he, passed away with, wasn't she overweight? Wasn't she? She wasn't that
Yep.
model female, that he painted. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe she was over 35. No, or she was at 35, but she wasn't some young spring chicken that he spoke about. So, I mean, and he talked
He
about
was
being a
he was
high value
practicing the
man.
opposite of what he preached.
Absolutely. And I think he just spoke what he said because that's what got him out there. That's what got the people talking. I started tuning in because of it was like I came across, one of his videos on Instagram, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy and what is he talking about? And then I went to his page and I started looking, and I'm like, yo, this guy is nuts. And the shit that he would say. And then it
Mm.
just became humorous to me. And some of the shit that women will call in and ask him,
Mm.
they deserve the response that they got. Because
Facts.
if you would call in and ask some dumb shit like they were asking, you deserve everything that you got. And I think, and I think some of them were just doing it just to be, on Instagram, on there. Oh, look, I got on Kevin Samuel's show, because there's no way you could tell me
Yeah.
they was for real.
Yeah. Now, my man Dre just made an interesting point. It be the ugly women that be getting wifed up, that be getting loved on, that be getting valued and appreciated. And he has a point. Sometimes it ain't even about how you look. It's about how you treat us.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how you respect us. It's about how you value us. So when he was on there telling women you're not high valued women, who made him the judge of that? Because if they wasn't as valued as he said they was, then how did they get 3 kids by 3 different dudes and been together 7 years, however many long? Like it's a couple factors in there that bothered me, and it's like this motherfucker been divorced twice.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck can you be out here telling me what you're not high valued right now? That's how I would look at it. Like,
Well, he wasn't high value because he didn't own where he lived.
okay,
He was divorced twice.
okay,
He essentially was single because he didn't really have anybody.
mm,
And he was broke. By his standards, he was broke.
yeah.
He had some bank accounts that was in the negative. So, I mean, what was going on here? What was he doing?
I listen, I told you, I thought the man was funny. Like he was funny to the point where it was like, yo, with your platform, you could be changing the world, not bringing it down even more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, he had this way of doing things where he was more respectful to, people with money, people with, beauty. Like I said, when Nicki Minaj was on there, he was so respectful. He didn't do half the shit that he do to these women who might not be as successful as Nicki Minaj. And that's what threw me off about him. And it was
Well,
like,
he knew
yo,
better.
that too. And that's why I said it's a balance. Right. Cool Out Corner said when he first came out, he was on some stylish fashion shit. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
was. And then
Yep.
he found out it wasn't as marketable with the shit with that because we wasn't really paying attention to his
My
ass.
point exactly.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So what do? We bash women. Let's bash women. Let's bash the men, and then let's build a platform like that. And for me, I see a lot of them dudes that do that. It's a lot of pick me's out there. And that's what he was giving me the vibe of, oh, this motherfucker want attention. He a
Get
fucking
out of here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Derek Jackson is an idiot. I wouldn't even waste my time too much talking about Derek Jackson because he's a fucking idiot. But that's what a lot of these dudes do. They get on here and they say whatever because they know that whatever they say, either the men demographic is going to eat out the palm of your hands or the female demographic is going to eat out the palm of your hands. And Kevin Samuels, it wasn't for me, but all the females, they came in constantly. And it's like, you're right. They was on that, oh, I made it to the Kevin Samuels show. I made it. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to put that on my resume. Like, yo, I was on the Kevin Samuels show. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of people did it. Like a lot of shit that goes on social media is about that bag. Even the shit, like I mentioned, the shit that's going on with the old girl and her long ass TikToks about how she didn't know her dude was a gaslight, a narcissist, all that other shit. Like, you knew this shit. You know this shit. It don't take you long to figure this shit out. So what do you think about it though? Do you think who's more blamed? The women that came on his show for that type of critique, or him actually giving out the type of critique that he did?
I blame the women.
Why so?
Because if they're not calling in, and what was he going to do? Who was he going to talk to? Who was he going to? You know what I'm saying? It was like they thrived off of calling and saying, "Oh, rape me," and all this other kind of stuff. If you didn't give him that power, then what was he going to do? He took off in that lane because the women gave him that power. They started calling in, and if they weren't calling, who is he going to talk to? Because why are you calling him? And then I can't wrap my head around that. What sense does that make? Make it make sense. I'm not calling no one to rape me and then get mad because of what they said and then say, oh, he's trash. You're calling him. Because if 0 women called him, then he wouldn't have had that platform.
Shout out to my man Ricky for popping in. Ricky, I don't think it was the truth that they couldn't take. Sometimes, listen, it don't even be the message. Like, your message could be dope as fuck. It ain't even a message. Sometimes it's the delivery that throws it off. Now, I do give fault to the women, but maybe they had nowhere else to go. Maybe they had nobody else to depend on, because everybody's out here was blowing smoke up their ass in real life. So maybe they went, some of them women probably appreciated Kevin Samuels' advice. They probably felt like, yo, if anybody's gonna keep it real with me, it's him. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes hated this dude. A lot of dudes hated Derrick Jackson. And it was just like, I hated him. I hated them for different reasons. I didn't hate them because they was telling women how to act or telling dudes how to treat they women. I didn't hate him. I didn't hate them for that. I hated because I felt like none of this shit y'all saying is real. Y'all not being y'all real selves. That's why I hated him. You know what I'm saying? I not hated him as a person, but I hated his messages.
Mm-hmm. So look, one of the things that he also said was, if a woman decides to go on a date with any man after the hours of 5 p.m., intimacy should be on the menu. However, if the intention of the woman is to keep the relationship with the man strictly platonic, the time frame of noon to 3 p.m. is more suitable.
I also didn't agree.
I didn't know it was a certain time to fuck, but okay.
I didn't agree with that either. How you gonna tell these grown ass women what to do? Like, you basically putting them on a curfew. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But what I said in response to that was, cheek clapping happens at any hour. It ain't gotta just happen after 10 o'clock or at 10 o'clock. Like, People get their cheeks, people clapping cheeks and getting their cheeks clapped all day if they wanted to. Like, that's the shit I didn't agree with. Sometimes delivery is important for people to hear because they will ignore it if not delivered correctly. Is sex part of life or no? How many times have you had sex without a date? Exactly. Like, I don't have to take you out on a date to have sex with you. For what? Like, we here for a purpose. We here for a reason. Like,
but that's one of the things that he harped on. That right there. And
but
I've heard him
why
say
though?
that to women. Again, who the hell knows? But why you as a woman would call in to a man that's going to give you that type of
Slime Facts,
advice?
what up?
So, like, now you're telling me that from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., me as a grown ass woman can't go out on a date, and after 3 p.m., I should expect that man is gonna want to fuck.
We gonna want to fuck regardless of the daytime.
Okay, that's my point
The time
exactly.
ain't gonna change it. Like, I've gotten some at 8 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have to go on a date. Like, the time isn't gonna change it. And that's what pissed me off about this dude. Like, the time ain't gonna change it. I ain't mad at him for giving his advice, because Kevin Samuels, he checked the bag. He checked the bag off for giving this advice, and that was his lane. Because fashion, although he was a sharp dude, that wasn't his lane. We're not sitting here taking fashion tips from Kevin Samuels. So,
but women was trying to hold men up to that standard. You can't take me out. If you can't take me out early, I don't want to go out.
listen, I get that. The whole I don't want no scrubs mentality been around for a long time, but people still accept the scrubs. Why do they accept the scrubs? Why do men and women both? Why do we accept people who have no money or have less money than us? What do you think? What do you think is the main reason that happens, Boots? Why do people accept people beneath them, and as far as money and finances and structure and things like that? Why those people? Why do we select those people instead of people who are actually on the same scale as us?
You know,
What do
I
you?
don't know. I mean, it could be a level of insecurity. Maybe they feel like this is all that I can get or I can have, or, you know, I don't know. But it's, and I don't think everybody is doing that either, because most people don't want to, that I know of, don't want to date someone that's not at least on the same level as them.
King Germ said, because love doesn't work that way. Slime Fact says, I think it is a brown skin problem. We applaud mediocrity with a smile. We have a right to choose who we love. Like, if I love you, I love you. I'm not really thinking about your pockets. I'm not really thinking about your looks. I'm not really thinking about, how many kids you got, things like that. If you solid, if you thorough, if you carry yourself with a certain uh sense of dignity and pride, I can work with that. Because again, no man has ever seen a woman and been like, you know what? She ugly as hell. I ain't gonna fuck her. There probably have been dudes that have said that. But some dudes will be like, okay, yeah, she is ugly as hell, but she thick. She thick. She look at her posture. She look like she can take some, like, these are the things that dudes think sometimes, like, again, but there's certain levels of what they do with these women. Like, again, they're not posting up on social media with these women. They're not taking them out around the homies and family. They're not, you know what I'm saying? You basically, this is a between me and you thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like a between me and you thing. And you, King Germ just said, good luck finding somebody on your level. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna find your perfect person. Like again, you have an idea of who your type is. Will you always strike gold on that? Probably not. But I think like, okay, if you got a box and you got a checklist of everything that you're looking for in a guy, how many of those checks, how many of those boxes would they have to check in order for you to still feel like, you know what? He ain't got everything I want, but he got this amount of what I'm looking for. How many, if you got a box of 10, how many on that box in your mind for you would they have to at least check off before you be like, all right, I can still work with this?
At least 7.
Men, King John said, men will take a woman that works at Popeyes if she likes him. This is true. You said at least 7?
Yeah.
That's a high number. Why
Why
7?
not? Why not?
So anything under 7, you can't work with it.
No, I don't want to, because I'm not trying to build a man. I will support my man, but I'm not trying to build a man. And you know, if you're not checking off the majority of the boxes, then what are we doing? Why am I here? Because now now we're, I'm gonna feel like I'm at the kiosk in the mall with Build-A-Bear. I gotta, start putting all these pieces together. Like, I'm not willing to do that.
He checks off 5 and he checking off the rest. You still can't work with it?
If he's working on it, then maybe, but it's not gonna be like you're checking off 5 and it's taking like another 20 years for you to get number 6. You know what I'm saying?
My man Ricky said, what do you consider yourself 1 through 10?
As far as what? Looks?
I think with just everything. Are you, okay, before you answer that, are you checking off everything that you're looking for?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not looking for or going to ask for anything that I'm not already. So, I mean, that's like if I say, oh, I want someone that, has a 6-figure salary, and I'm working at McDonald's. I'm not doing that. If I'm asking for someone at 6 figures, I'm going to be at 6 figures. And, if I want somebody that, can do things for me, I'm going to be able to do things for him. I'm not going to ask for nothing that either I can't do myself or I'm not already doing myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be that person that that I want. Like, if I have a list of things that I want in my man, then I need to be right there with it, because how am I asking for something that I can't be to or for somebody else? And it's like, and when I say I don't want to build a man, I'm saying, like, again, I emphasize that I will support my man. So if he, is like, babe, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I want to do, whatever, I'm gonna be right there with him, like, how, okay, let me figure out how, we're gonna do this. Let me figure out how I can help you do this. And I'm gonna be there to support him. But I don't want to be that alpha female in a relationship. I don't want that.
Yeah, listen. Okay, so I agree. you definitely shouldn't be out here pursuing someone and pursuing qualities in someone that you're not bringing to the table yourself. Absolutely.
But
But
he said money shouldn't be a deal breaker.
it shouldn't be a deal breaker.
It
I'm not
can
gonna
be
break
though.
up with you because you broke. I'm not gonna not talk to you because you broke. But what are you doing to not continue to be broke? Because you can't really establish anything with me broke. Like, what are you doing to put yourself in a better position? If you say, oh, I'm gonna be with you and that's gonna put me in a better position. No, you're not. It ain't gonna happen. This is the conversation I had before. A lot of people are not dating for love, they're dating for help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We talked about this. We did. Listen, your partner should not be your financial success or your financial come up. And if it happens that way, it should be because we worked on something together. It shouldn't be because you have money, you're financing me, you're taking care of me, and all. And no, no, we should be taking care of each other. Money shouldn't be a deal breaker, but we have to have some type of financial compatibility. It has to be there, or else it's never going to work.
Yeah. Like, I'm not looking for anybody that I gotta carry. I'm not looking for you. If I have to carry you, like, you need to be able to walk on your own 2 feet. Okay. You're not gonna jump on my back and you have two working legs and expect me to carry you. I'm not gonna do that. Like, if you come in this and you don't have the best finances, okay, let's sit down and come up with a plan on how we're gonna
Right,
get you these finances. Again, like, take me out of it. Like, what are your skills? What can you do? You know what I'm saying?
right.
And a lot of women will tell you they best skills is sucking dick. And it's crazy because I see these shows, right? They got this 25 women versus one of the big celebrities or something. He'll be on there and he'll be speed dating with 25 women. And a lot of these women, they say the same shit. Like, he'll ask, like, hey, what can you do? What are your qualities? And they'll be like some I know how to fuck and shit like that. And I'll be like, yo, this
But
what
see,
we
that's where they got it fucked up at. Because if a man asks you what are your qualities, and the first words out your mouth is you can fuck or you can suck a good dick, it's
yeah.
a problem. That is a problem in and of itself. So yeah, I mean,
And
it can be a quality, but it doesn't have it shouldn't be the quality, and it shouldn't be what you lead
a
with.
girl named Ray. Yes, yes. I'm listen, I'm telling you, man, like, um, I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind if you can do that. If that's one of your best qualities, by all means, handle your business, baby. But what else can you do? And just like me, I'm not gonna come to the table and just be like, yo, all I know how to do is fuck. All I know how to do is, has is that you gotta come with more than that.
He said marriage is a business
When one in marriage, you
partnership.
I look, yes,
Hmm.
yes, love is a business. The more you treat
It's
it
a
like an emotion,
corporation.
yeah,
Marriage is a corporation, period.
yeah,
I don't care
hell
how you
yeah,
look at it. That shit is a business.
hell
It
yeah.
costs
Like,
very little to get into and a whole lot to get out of. So,
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. In a perfect world, I want us both making some kind of money, even if you don't work a 9 to 5, even if you got a side hustle, you do hair, you sell hair, you do nails, you know what I'm saying? You got a side hustle that's generating some type of income. I can work with that because now we got to figure out how to expand that. You know what I'm saying? But if you come in with the mind frame of, yo, I'm getting with this dude so he can take care of me. I'm getting with this woman so she can take care of me. You're gonna lose. Off top, you're going to lose. Uh My man Ro, what up? I think it's just at this point of I want you to come with what I come with. And if you don't come with what I come with, like what are the necessities for you? What does a dude he has to have like off bat, non-negotiable?
His teeth.
A girl named Ray said, if someone said that to me, I'm going to automatically feel like you're not intellectually on my level because why would you say that? That's crazy. Facts. I agree with that. His teeth. Okay. What else?
That's what I was gonna ask. What Ross said about you said if your woman has a she's trying to get income, do something. Like how would you feel if your girl had an OnlyFans like the basketball player? I don't know his name. His wife had the OnlyFans or whatever like that, and she was making whatever she was making. Would you be okay with that?
I would not be okay with that.
Okay.
But listen, but hold on. In response to that, right? If she had her OnlyFans before she met me, and this is the kind of money she was generating, who am I to stop your hustle? But
you wouldn't make her your wife.
We gotta put a certain limit on what you posted on there now. You know what I'm saying? We gotta tone it down. You know what I'm saying? If you on there just showing your feet, showing your elbow, you sitting there in lingerie or something like that. Because I've seen people with OnlyFans who don't get naked at all. They just showing their feet, they showing lingerie, shit like that. Okay, I can rock with it. Mm-hmm. But if she had her OnlyFans and she was getting buckyball naked with her ex all on that motherfucker, oh no, baby. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing it. It's certain levels of respect now because now you're not just some single woman out here on OnlyFans. Now you're transitioning yourself to being somebody's lady. So you gotta have a little bit of dignity when you're doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a little bit of dignity when you're doing it now because now, Styles, my boy, what up? You gotta have a little dignity. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, if you're making $8K a month off of OnlyFans before you met me, I'm gonna give you a little grace period to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know where we are, what we're doing, and how if I'm gonna be here in 2 months. We don't know that. So it'll be bogus of me to stop your income and tell you, nah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You with me now, and then next week we not together no more. So I just done stopped your whole flow. So you get a little bit of a grace period to figure that out, but that can't be your fucking end game. I'm sorry. Like, what else are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Do I say this after I hit? I'm gonna be honest. If I know through the door that you got an OnlyFans through the door, it's a thrill there for me. It's a thrill there for me because I'm still gonna want to hit it now. Now, hold on. That might be as far as it go. I might not like you past that. I might not like you past hitting it. That might be it. You know what I'm saying? If I have no intentions on building something with you, I'm not gonna be like, you know what, go ahead on and get rid of that OnlyFans. Nah, do your thing. I have no intentions on building anything with you, so I'm not gonna tell you to shut that down. But now, if I am, I'm gonna let you know, like, yeah. So that kind of thing is uncomfortable for me because now you're transitioning yourself to being somebody's lady. So yeah,
right.
It's weird. You know that other dudes is doing all this and requesting and you doing so yeah, it's a balance. But I wouldn't but I wouldn't stop your money. 8K is a lot of money. That's probably how you feed your kids, you pay your bills, you do your thing. So who am I to tell you not to do that? But now if we under the Joe Smith Act and I knew you was doing this before we got married and you stopped and then you started back up unbeknownst to me, oh, now we got a problem.
So so help me out here. I think she started back up because their financial situation changed in the home, correct? Is that what
Um,
happened?
hey, Jay said, Jay said, AK a month, I might have to hold the camera. Fact. Like, yeah, I would contribute
Yeah.
to something like that because now in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how me and you can work together and turn that shit into 10, 12, 14, however much a month. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But you said, I don't care how bad the financial problems is. I don't care. If you go behind my back and do something that you swore up and down you wasn't going to do, and you turn around and you do it, and I don't know about it, that trust right there has been broken. That's broken trust.
No
Like,
doubt. No doubt. I agree with that. Listen, I'm not condoning it at all. I mean, I feel like she should not have done it to begin with
mm,
because one, she was married. Two, she did it behind his back, you know, and when you are in a relationship with someone and particularly married, it's a certain level of respect that you have to have. And as a woman, you got to hold yourself up to a different kind of standard. And that wasn't it. The way she went about it was not it.
mm,
However, he knew what he had because he knew what she was doing. And if you have a woman that likes attention from others, attention and validation from others, no matter what you do, is
mm.
going to be good enough.
Yeah,
So I think in that situation, I think she was seeking the attention versus whatever the reasoning was. Because if you
yeah.
listen to her when she was arguing, that was a lost cause. If
Because
you
I'm
if
gonna
you
tell
have
you,
a woman that they seek their validation and attention from social media
yeah,
and attention from other men, you're forever going to have a problem.
because when she got on Cameron and Mace show, and she giving out full body massages, and they like, yo, you don't think Mace asked her plain and simple, like, you don't think this gonna cause a rift even more in your marriage? And she was like, yo, I don't care, etc., etc., etc. Once
Wrong.
she did that, yo, this shit over with. In my
I would
mind,
have had
this
to
shit
black her
over with.
eye.
No, not even that. I'm just gonna leave because the respect is not there anymore. Like once
Absolutely. But
once
before I left, she would have got her eye blacked.
once you go on public and you show a great distaste for the care of your marriage or your relationship, whatever it is, then there's nothing left there for me. I'll be a
But see,
goddamn fool.
those men disrespected her husband because she allowed it.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
She allowed it. She allowed those men to disrespect her husband. And that's totally that's wrong and it was fucked up. And that's why I'm saying I would if I was her husband and she did that shit, I would have had to black her damn eye and then I'm leaving. Because you come on now. Why would you he was mad about the OnlyFans, but then
Mm-hmm.
you go on and you allow another man to give you a massage.
No, she was giving the massage.
Oh, she gave him a still
Yeah.
no. Because what we doing here? No.
A girl
She
named
got
Ray
she's
said, not as a
trash.
woman, no, as a person, you have to hold yourself with a certain level standard. When you're married,
Absolutely.
there's a way you move and there's a way you don't. And she didn't move the right way. And I'm telling you, all her shit, he knew what he was, yeah, he knew what he was getting into. But look, I'm pretty sure he would not have married her if she not had said, you know what, I'm done being a porn star. I'm done living that life. I'm done. I want to settle down and be a woman. Like we all have passed when we pulling up on someone new. We all have done things and been through things and had to survive and all of that. Cool. But I think now, like after a while, you start to realize, like, okay, this is something different. This is not what I'm used to. I actually like it here. I want to build something here. I'm with it. I'm here. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain rules and certain things that should be done once you take that step. And it's like, go with that. If you tell me you're gonna change and you're done with that life, I expect you to honor that. But now, if you have second thoughts, that's a conversation we have to have together. You don't just go and make it on your own and just decide I deal with it later. I deal with it down the road when it comes up.
Man, ain't no damn conversation about being no porn star or giving some other man. What are you talking about? There
You
is
know,
no
I'm saying,
conversation. If you
I
have to
mean,
resort back to that,
you're
then guess
probably not
what?
gonna get the answer you want.
Exit stage left. You gotta
So if
go.
your guy
Deuces.
told you, hey, I used to be a porn star, I got with you, I slowed that down, and then he comes back and be like, you know what, I kind of miss it though. I kind of miss
Slowed it down or stopped.
he kind of slowed it down. Now he's only like a porn star for you. But now he's telling you, like, I kind of miss my old job, my old life. The 9 to 5 ain't for me. I don't want to do the 9 to 5 shit no more. I want to go back to what I know when you met me. He's giving you courtesy of, I want to know what you think about
It was nice meeting you. We've had a great ride, but I'm sorry.
it.
Key and Boys Cement, although we've come to the end of the road.
But you knew who he was when you met him.
Okay, but then that's when, I would have to say, like, hey, listen, yeah, you were doing this when I met you.
Mm.
You said you were going to stop, and now you want to revisit it. I don't have to. I don't have to accept that.
A girl named Ray said, so, oh, you want to be single again.
Exactly. That's why I said we come to the end of the road. Okay, see, Dre, we were doing fine all this time. All this motherfucking time. You if you wanted my attention, just say that. Cause why are you choosing violence with me? Why?
All right, so I appreciate everybody that tapped in today, man. They thought it was gonna start off as a Kevin Samuels bashing, and it did, but it evolved. You know what I'm saying? That's how we able to do things over here nowadays. Bougie, you got some words of encouragement for the good people? Because I know you got karaoke to get to tonight. You got some
Yes,
words of
I
encouragement.
do. Yes. So, listen, in all realness, we just have to learn how to love ourselves and not seek validation through other people, because I think that's what those women were doing. They were looking for validation from
Mm-hmm.
this man, whether they were lacking something, in their childhood or whatever it was. We just have to learn to love ourselves and be the person that you want, and take it from there. And what you deserve and what you should have is going to come to you. And if it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with being single. You know, Nothing wrong with it at all. I know people are like, oh, you're still single or whatever. Then so be it, because everybody who's married is not happy. So love yourself, be the person that you want, and grow from past experiences.
Facts. So my advice is this: stop taking advice from people on the internet. Okay. If you don't truly know them, don't take advice from them. All right. You know, unless you know this person outside the internet, like you really know them. You know what I'm saying? Then it's okay. But a lot of these internet personalities, they don't really care about giving you A1 advice. They want to give you what's the shock value. They want to give you
Mm-hmm.
what's going to get the most views and the clicks and the likes and things like that. So they don't have your best interest at heart. So stop listening to people on the internet, okay, about love and advice and all that other good shit, because they don't really have your best interest. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I really, like I said, the same things that I'm saying now, I said when he was alive. I didn't just change up and be all nice, because I seen a lot of fake people. I seen a lot of people who didn't like Kevin Samuels, but they rode with that wave. Oh man, Kevin Samuels, man, it shouldn't have been him, blah, 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 and all that fake ass shit. Not me. I ain't like his ass when he was here, and I ain't like his ass that he it's the same. I don't switch up. But shout out to everybody out here doing their thing. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic will be unlearning toxic teachings.
That's a good one.
Unlearning toxic teachings, things that you grew up learning and you were taught to learn and things like that. And how do you finally let those toxic things go? Because you know that they're toxic. You just didn't know any better as a kid, but as an adult, you know better. So gonna jump into that. And then something else. I'm gonna have two of them tomorrow. The other one was being the bigger person, even when you were the one that was being wronged. So they kind of go hand in hand. So listen, I will catch you good people. Bougie, let
Yes,
everybody know
sir.
where they can find you at.
You can find the Bougie Babe podcast streaming on any platform. You can find me on Instagram at the Bougie Babe podcast. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of those good
Dre
things.
said we're on the internet though. See,
yes.
but see, you know me in real life, so that don't count. But check it out, man. I got a new episode of Bet the House coming in the next couple of days. I've been really working. And then Friday night we got Late Night Flex. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm on her show or she's coming on my show, but we gonna sort that out. I got a special guest in the building tomorrow also, so that's gonna be a dope conversation. It's definitely gonna be live. It's gonna be a dope conversation.
What time is that?
Same time as always, 8 your time, 7 my time.
Okay.
But listen, man, Bougie, go ahead and do your thing. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll chop back up. If you're free tomorrow, to pull up.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. I'll be back.
Good night.